think it's safe for me to say that that's been the best icebreaker that I've ever been asked to evaluate. And I know that we spoke beforehand. I didn't know the rich history that you actually had in Toastmasters before. So when we were talking, I was telling him, I said, listen, Franklin, you just have to, just don't let yourself on this. You've got this, don't worry. And then I hear your background, I think, oh my gosh, no, I feel embarrassed for even doing any basic coaching. But this is, I'll say this, like, we all enter into this with different backgrounds, different degrees of experience in speaking, and we're all sort of on our own personal journeys. And as you mentioned, what's important to you is that you still feel stressed, and you still feel challenged, and you're still learning and still getting better. In terms of what you did well, and what I think that all of us, because all of us, everyone here is a mentor to each other. We can all learn something from each other in terms of personal style, in terms of content, in terms of creativity, whatever it may be. So the things that like you excel at, right, look, if I could capture and do what Franklin does, I would be so much better, is that some people just have a presence and a natural charisma that you just like them from the start, and it's in the way they move and they engage and they deliver or whatever, and you had that. You were worried about your opening, you started with a nice compelling question that drew us in, you used the intro well to sort of set a stage where, honestly, you put the expectations up here in terms of your background, and you still managed to exceed my expectations. But you drew us in with a good open question, and you had this sort of just natural, easy, engaging style. And you've got great dynamic speaking ability in terms of your vocal variety and your body motion, everything. So that was great. The other thing you did, I gave a speech on what makes things interesting, and the two of the aspects that stood out were challenging preconceived notions and specificity. And specificity is something that you did. You didn't just tell us you were a blood donor, you told us how much blood you donated and what mark you hit. You told us about the detail, you didn't just tell us your kids' names. You gave us micro stories around the background of their names. And so you gave us a lot of rich detail and specificity that I think drove some of what made the speech so interesting and kept us engaged. Also kind of challenging, maybe just like aha kind of moments, is that you never know. You come up here, everyone in an icebreaker speech is kind of a blank slate. No one knows each other's backgrounds. And so hearing all of the multitude of roles and jobs that you've had, what you're building is intrigue to the audience for future speeches. So this first one, you've piqued our interest, and you've set the stage for future speeches, which is awesome. Things that you could maybe work on. As an experienced Toastmaster, you've got a lot of the basic details down. One of the things you wanted me to look at was eye contact. What I seem to notice is that you seem to be kind of staring out over the audience. And I think like that's one thing is that you could engage a little bit more. The other thing is with an intro like this, there's sort of scattershot and really wide in breadth. I wonder if this could have worked a little bit more powerfully as 2 or 3 longer stories rather than a whole scattershot of stories. But otherwise, amazing first speech, a lot of things I think we all can learn from and pay attention to. And so welcome to the club. Glad you're here. Thank you.